You have all heard all day about exponential technology. What I want to give you right now is exponential leverage. I want to take 1 hour of your time and turn it into 10 hours of value. If you try just one of these things that I share with you tonight, I believe you'll be unstuck on some incredible problem tomorrow. So let me tell you the story of how this came about. I had a very small problem that led to a big realization. It was the day before my Series B round at ProRata, and a board member emailed me and said, Bill, I just need one thing. We're all ready to wire our funds tomorrow. I just need a 2-page Word document that summarizes all the changes from our Series A to our Series B. And my heart sunk. I knew I was about to spend 5 hours on that task because it required a lot of looking back at all the emails and threads and discussions and all the things that happened in the prior year. It really took a lot of digging to put that together. And then I realized I just worked all weekend on a board deck. And in fact, I have all my board decks from the prior year. I'm going to hand all of those PDF files to ChatGPT with his email, with that request. I want a 2-page Word document that summarizes all the changes from the Series A to Series B. ChatGPT said, thinking for 15 seconds, and came back with a beautiful 2-page Word document. I looked it over for about 5 minutes, made a few changes in tone, a few edits, and it was perfect for me to send back. And I realized I had just taken 5 hours and collapsed it to 5 minutes. And what was really, really shocking to me was not so much what the AI had just done, although that was actually incredible, but it was that I came this close to forgetting to use it. I almost didn't think that it could take on a task like that, because that was such a complex reading of all the things we had done in the last year. So that made me realize that you can use AI for some really, really high-stakes tasks. And my insight was that it's uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable to me, but it was that you can use AI for not only easy things, but for very difficult things too. And I actually had a thinking partner on demand for some of these tasks. I never really thought about AI before as a thinking partner, the way that experience led me to believe. And I've lived through many technology shifts before, living through the dot-com era, living through the PC era, the mobile era. But the biggest thing I've realized living through all of those revolutions was that sometimes it's not just the downside of a technology that can hurt you, it's not adapting new habits when that new technology fully takes hold. That there really are some big chances to take advantage of a whole new way of thinking and new habits to form. So that led me to my goals for today, very simple ones. I want to give you a new habit. I want to give you a toolkit that actually reliably will give you leverage. I'm going to go through those in just a moment. First, why does prompting matter so much? The reason why prompting matters so much is you're talking to a brain that has collected most of human knowledge, certainly all of the written human knowledge, but you definitely need to give it direction. You need to tell this brain what to pay attention to. And I'm going to give you a very specific example of that. Here's an example of why the exact kind of prompt you use just matters so much. If you ask ChatGPT or your favorite AI, what's the smallest integer whose square is between 16 and 25? It will usually answer pretty quickly 4, because 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, so 4 is the answer. But if you go ask the same question again, what's the smallest integer whose square is between 16 and 25? But before you answer, tell me all the ways someone could get that wrong. And ChatGPT will come back and say, well, one way people could get it wrong is they might not know what an integer is. Another way people might get it wrong is they might not know what a square is. A number times itself is the square. Another way people might get it wrong is they don't know that a negative number squared is a positive number. The answer is -5. And after probing that brain and guiding it to where it found mistaken solutions before, it actually comes up with the correct answer, because -5 squared is the smallest integer leading to between 16 and 25. So it really is amazing about how critical the way you form your prompt is to guide the brain to help you in the way that you need most. So that led me to why prompting is so important. And now I'm going to give you some specific prompt examples. I'm going to give you 10 specific prompt examples that I hope you can use tonight or tomorrow or certainly this week to make a real big difference in your business. The very first one is this. Help me think this through without telling me what to do. Take a problem that you have and ask the AI to help you think it through. This is really powerful because it surprises you. It reframes the AI as a thinking tool, not as giving you the answer. And that is really, really a unique way to take advantage of AI. So that's just one. I'm going to go through a bunch more. Next one. What am I likely misunderstanding about this? Take the thing that you're facing, whatever the problem you're looking at, and ask the AI to tell you more about that. This one really takes AI and stops it from confirming what you already think, but breaks the habit and gives you new thoughts in a new direction altogether. Number 3, give me 3 unconventional solutions to this problem. Very often, the AI, because it's probabilistic, looking for the most conventional solution to a problem. Asking the AI to give you unconventional solutions is a prompt that asks it to explore something in a different area. That might give you the insight. You, the human, is still the decider. You are still going to figure out how to take your idea forward. But getting some unconventional ideas might prompt you to come up with something new that you hadn't been looking at before. This one's very powerful. It often helps in getting you out of your own rut. The next one. This is a really clever one. It came from Amanda Caswell, and it's a sentence with something missing. So here's an example. I'm putting together a cozy gift basket with a candle, mug, tea, and then actually leave it blank and ask AI to fill in the rest. This one feels like a sentence that you didn't finish, and that's exactly the point. And this completes the sentence for you with really powerful adjacent ideas that, once again, might give you something you hadn't been thinking of before. So replace the crazy gift basket, cozy gift basket, candle, mug, and tea with your own situation and look for some adjacent ideas that the AI can give you. Number 5. This is very interesting. I didn't do this before I heard about this. Ask me 5 clarifying questions before answering. This is, again, helping the AI get more out of you so that it can go look for the part of its brain that can help you the most. This is a really great strategy for complex decisions. It makes the model understand more before it gives you the specifics. Number 6, this is where you give Gemini, Claude, and ChatGPT, or your favorite 3 engines, the same task and have them argue it out. This is called adversarial synthesis. And why is this interesting? You can force new critiques, new proposals, get an approved plan by having different AIs argue out the same question. And it's amazing how a simple thing like this will expose new ways for your own thinking. Number 7. What would I do if I had 50 other people working on this, or 50 of your own people working on this? This is having the AI figure out how to assign roles, define the ideal outputs, identify what humans can do, what the AI can do, and then maybe even have it outline a plan for you over the next month for how to take those 50 individuals or agents and have them work on your behalf. So this is a really great one to have you think about how to organize a system to tackle your problem and not just get a quick answer. Okay, so those are 7 examples. I'm going to give 3 more, but first let me step back for a second and talk about what is the summary of all this prompting. You're basically programming attention. You're directing where the attention of the AI is supposed to focus. So great prompts use all the things on the left. Give intent or constraints or what a definition of done would be or the challenges. Bad prompts are more vague. They don't give any constraints. They don't give an example of what good might be. They don't give any iteration or critique loop. All those things weaken the prompt. All the things on the left strengthen the prompt. So here's a real simple metric for improving a prompt. Just adding these 2 lines to almost anything you do. Think about what you were going to ask otherwise, and now add some constraints, add a definition of done. Adding that to it already makes your prompt give you more useful information back. So now with that, I'm going to share 3 more sophisticated prompts with you, but also that can give you very, very exciting results. Number 8, the to future memo. So think about this for your business. Write 2 internal memos dated 18 months or a year from now or 6 months from now, pick your time horizon, and have memo A talk about how you won big, and have memo B talk about why you failed. But have each memo be painfully specific about the different decisions that you took that led to each of those cases. Then you can look at those memos and the things that happened, the decisions that were taken. These are imaginary decisions. These aren't ones that you have taken yet. But they might give you guidance to things that would lead you to success and things to failure. You can have the AI even extract the 7 decisions that made the most impact on that success. So this turns vague futurism into some decisions that you can act on right now. This is really powerful. And again, I had never thought of something like this before, and it's amazing what it can do to help you make decisions for the future. Number 9, this is the adversarial boardroom. Before I told you about the adversarial prompt where you have 3 different AIs argue it out, here's where you have your whole management team argue it out. So here's an example where you make up some personas. You have your CFO, your CTO, maybe your head of sales, maybe a customer, maybe a competitor. You give them the challenge that you're looking at, and you have them all disagree. Have them all argue it out. Have them end with the strongest no, the strongest yes, and the smallest test that you could run to resolve their differences. Again, this is just so out of the box to give you guidance on some challenge that you might be facing. This forces conflict and reveals weak assumptions that you can take advantage of in your own decision making. And number 10, this is the constraint ladder. Generate 5 solutions to a problem. You'll fill in your own problem, each with a stricter constraint than the last. So first you say, try and solve this with no new budget. Then you say, try and solve this with no new people. Then say, oh, you must ship this in 72 hours. Maybe you need to be 5 times cheaper. Make up the constraints. But the constraints force originality. And once again, causes the AI to look in new places. Typically, the AI is looking in the simplest, most probabilistic place. What this is doing is forcing it to look in very distant places to try and come up with new solutions with these constraints imposed. So, the 90-second experiment that you can do tonight or tomorrow is think of one difficult thing you're avoiding or one difficult thing you're looking for an answer to. Take that 2-sentence prompt enhancer or figure out which of these matter to it the most. Ask AI to go think on it and come up with some kind of test that you can actually run to improve that answer. And this next slide, and by the way, I'll share the whole presentation with you afterwards. This slide, so you don't have to worry about reading everything right here. But here's an example of this super prompt that you would be able to use for your particular challenge. And pick something real that matters to you. So why is this so big right now? What's happening right now? We've heard about all these incredible technologies. I was blown away by everything I heard today. You could put this to use immediately. I hope some of these things, if even one of these you can put to use immediately, multiplied by 1,000 people, that could just add so much value. So I'm really hoping to add value. I really hope it makes a difference for you. What's happening in the world right now is incredible. You've all witnessed it from the talks you've heard today. I really feel we'll look back on this time period, 2026, as a turning point in the history of civilization. What is it the odds that we're alive at this moment to witness this changing, this most incredible thing? And why am I saying that this is happening right now? It's not because AI has solved everything. And it's not because AI is so ubiquitous, but because it's achieved such a level of utility and such a level of ubiquity and such a wide range of things you can apply it to that it's really, really like the Archimedes, give me a lever that's big enough, long enough, and I can move the earth. This is a lever that is just so dramatically huge, it really, really is a big impact on civilization. And Peter put it really well in this slide. He talked about the biological engine of civilization, how the last 10,000 years, we went from sunlight to photosynthesis, which made our food, which gave us our muscles and our brains, which we used to build value. We built the pyramids, the Roman Empire, the modern world with that. That whole loop built all of civilization today. The new loop that we've entered with this new AI world is sunlight or fusion right to electricity, electricity to compute. The compute is going to go into AI and robots and to be extra strength partner, thinking partner to all of us. And then that goes right to value, innovation, solutions, all the things you heard before, wisdom. And as Peter said earlier, it's like turning watts into wisdom. It really, really is incredible what we've been able to do to take those electrons and turn them into thought and actual empowerment of humanity. So it's a really, really exciting time. So if I could leave you with one simple idea, I don't think the biggest risk with AI is misuse. I think it's forgetting to use it. I think there are so many times we can use it, like the story I told at the beginning where I almost forgot. There are still many times a day where I wish I remembered I should have used AI to help me be a thinking partner in that. So the real leverage comes when you remember to ask AI, help me think. And my challenge to you is use this new habit. Next time you're about to block out 5 hours for something, 1 hour for something, think about how you could spend 5 minutes or 5 seconds to use AI as your thinking partner instead. That alone will be a huge habit that you could change this year. I would happy to share this presentation with you. Email me at bill@idealab.com and I'll share it. But what most of all, I'd love to hear some of your use cases. If some of you put this to use, I'd love to hear about how it works, if you're willing to share it, and I'll add that to the presentation so I can share that with the whole world. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience.
Thank you.